Guys, this is Yassin S. Hall. She has a book, Beyond the Love Curse, Own Your Power. Tell us a little bit about this.
So this is a book about my entire life. It was stemmed because I entered into this new chapter. My first book is about my mom and living on an island with my mom living with paranoid schizophrenia. And as time went on, I came out of a bitter relationship, a really bad relationship that kind of ended at gunpoint. And at that point, I said, it has to be me. It's me. I'm attracting the wrong people. It's me. At some point you have to turn the mirror around and go that you're not just unlucky in these relationships. Something about you needs fixing, right? And after that trauma of, ending it so hostily, I put myself in therapy. And the main thing is I wanted to find joy. I'd never have seen anybody around me being joyful. I've heard people wish you happiness, but I've not seen joy. I actually saw it in my daughter, and I used to think, why is she so joyful and I'm not, you know? And I said, the very first session I had with my therapist, she says, "What are you here for? What do you expect to accomplish out of these sessions?" And I said, "I need to find joy in my life. I need to learn how to really and truly accept myself and love who I am. I love everything about myself." And I didn't plan on writing a second book. I was good with the first one. And after therapy, I felt so much freedom. I felt so much joy, and my life took a drastic. It wasn't a slow turn. It's like as soon as I started finding who I was and who I began and accepting all my flaws and being apologetic to myself for all the things that I have been through and taking accountability. So the book is really about, yes, I talk about the past relationships and the hurt, but it's not from the sense of I'm hurt. It's from the sense of I'm healed, and this is how I forgave myself despite what I've been through. So that is how it came about.
Who is this book written for?
For the woman that is struggling to cope, that has so many skeletons in their closet and they haven't faced their truth. And for the woman that knows that they need help, like something isn't, well, probably not know they need help. The dots aren't connecting. They're still in denial. They're still in woe with me. Why my life isn't going any better, blaming everybody else and they're not. That's who is written for somebody to self-reflect. And in the back of the book, it actually has a table of contents of therapists from every state in case they're reading it and they feel like, you know what, she's talking to me, maybe she came out of therapy okay. I break down the barriers and the myths of what therapy looks like, that it's not what you think it is. And I wrote that book to help another.
I love that. What inspired you to write this specific book?
The freedom, the freedom that I received and the joy that I received. I want so many women to feel joy. I want us to just, regardless of whatever happens in our life, we have a way to finding joy within ourselves. And to also watch how we react. We are very reactive versus non-reactive. And a lot of times, if the way how we react and the way how we cope with situations is what's holding us back. And if we just release that and realize that God is in control, you are in control, and whatever you can't control is not for you to control, and accept that that's okay. And also accept the fact that, a lot of my own insecurities stem from me being a parent. I raised four special needs children, and that was challenging. And I put myself on the back burner for them. And I have no regrets about that. However, I didn't make all the right decisions. Who knows what the right decisions are anymore with raising children, right? We all literally guessing this whole parenting thing. And there's some instances, if I could have gone back in time, I would have done different. But I didn't know that was an option to be different because I was broken.
What challenges shaped you to make you who you are today so that you could write this?
Whoo! Forgiveness. I had to learn to forgive myself, my community, my children, my actions, and just realize that at the end of the day, we are human. We are humans trying to navigate this world with no instructions, no manual, no no guidance, and the person that has to be the guidance is you. You have to put yourself in the mindset of what it is that you want in life that will bring you joy, not happiness. Because a lot of times, because we don't know what joy looks like, we tend to go, I just want you to be happy. But what is happy? What
Right.
is it? Right? A lot of people can't even define what happiness is. They think happiness is buying a bag and then having regret the next day because you didn't have the money to buy that bag. Some people think that happiness is going to get your hair done and get your nails done and coming home and feeling refreshed, but that's self maintenance. That's not happiness, right? Happiness is waking up in the morning knowing that life is beyond your control and that it is okay, and to talk to yourself every day about affirmations and tell yourself and remind yourself every day why you love you. What makes you amazing? What makes you phenomenal? What makes you special to you, not nobody else, but to you? And I wake up every day and I thank the Lord for giving me clarity, and I have the ability to pray for others unconditionally. Like I don't pray and hoping in return I get a prayer back or a blessing back. I pray to let it out in the universe. This is who I am. This is where I have achieved, where I can do anything in life without regrets. I own all my mistakes every day, and I apologize to myself every single night. I apologize for the things that may have not gone right, or I may have lost my temper a little bit here and there. But joy is accepting that. Joy is accepting that. And I am in such a joyful season in my life. I used to wonder, I had friends around me who would wake up, break breakfast, go to work. Work is great. Come home, feed the kids, put the kids to bed, and life is wonderful and start over again. And then you have my life is like, I don't even want to wake up today because these kids going to drive me bananas. I know I'm going to have to go to the school and pick this one up for this behavior. The teacher's going to complain about this one. This one's going to throw up over here, and I got to go pick this one up from school. I got to call out from work. I'm stressing about work because I'm behind schedule for my appointments and my projects that I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to bed and I'm looking forward to sleep because I just want the day to end. That's how my day was. And it's because I was so broken that all I looked at was the negative. Like, I got to do this and I got to do that and this. I didn't look at the fact that I was able to provide food for my children. I was able to provide a roof over their heads. Thank God I was in a position to pick them up from school when they would misbehave. Thank God I was in the position to be able to work from home and take them to therapy sessions for 4 hours in the afternoon, driving all around town. Thank God I was able to have a car. Thank God I was able to put gas in the car and pay for these sessions because the insurance didn't cover them. And I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at all the things in my life that went wrong in that day, in that moment, rather than looking at the things that actually went right. And you know what I realized? I've done so much right that I've done wrong.
So would you say one of the goals to finding your joy is to switch your perspective,
Yes,
to look at the blessings as opposed to the things that are bad?
exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Have you had any feedback from readers that's touched you the most?
Oh my, whew, yes, the stories. The stories, like when the book was originally launched, my inbox, my email was just blowing up because the women were like, I had no idea that I was going through anything, and I'm thinking I need help too. And they talk about my strength because I've been through so much more than the average woman, that when they look at me, like, how did you cope? How do you smile every day? Because I've been through some really traumatic experiences and had to make some really traumatic decisions. And they look at me and like, I don't ever want to be that strong. And I look at myself and I don't see my own strength. I don't see me as strong. I just see me as, this is life. This is, some people are given a deck of cards and some of us have to go make the cards from scratch. you know
what question do your readers ask you the most?
How do I cope with not having a relationship with my boys? Yeah. They can't fathom. So it's like a catch 22 is what I did with my children and choosing joy over chaos. Was decided that I know I have the right to not let bad energy in if I choose to, and it doesn't matter if it's your children, it doesn't matter if it's your mother, your father, your friends. You have the right to no longer wish to have that negative energy aura come into your life anymore. There is a stopping point, and there's a point when you just hit that enough button and go, I choose me. I did the best I could, and I choose me. And there's a lot of parents that are dealing with children. My children have, all four of my children have some form of mental health disorders. So there are parents out there that are living with adult children that are suffering and struggling every day because their hands are tied about getting help for their children. And you have the mother's guilt is the child is sick, your adult child is sick. How do you put an adult child out? You know? And they feel a lot like I am. You're battling your confusion. I can say that I was blessed in the fact that because I came from a mother who was schizophrenic, and I saw a lot of things. My mom being schizophrenic changed my perception of help. So my mother didn't have help, and because she didn't have help, I got help for my children before they turned 18. So I raised my children to live past their disabilities so that they can function in the world. Are they functioning 100%? Absolutely not. But any of us are? No. No. But we figure it out, right? And I've given them enough skills that I have to let them fly for my own peace of mind. And that's a thing that I have to pray for peace for every day. At the end of the day, I'm a mom. At the end of the day, I have a heart. And at the end of the day, I love my kids, but that doesn't mean I have to go through the toxicity every single day. I did my part.
Yeah, you chose you. And that's a hard thing for people to do, right? Like to say, I got to put me first, especially as a mom or as a wife, right?
Exactly.
I love
Exactly. Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah. And then you also and then the coping with people thinking you're being selfish when you're being self-full. Because how are you supposed to continue giving if you are empty?
Exactly. See, I'm a caregiver, and I have to put me first because if I don't take care of me, who's going to take care of him? So, and a lot of people like they'll say stuff, and I'm like, I gotta do this, or I'm not going to be there. Yeah. The book's name. I love that you all keep asking me the book name. I love that. That makes me really happy. It's Beyond the Love Curse: Own Your Power by Yassin S. You can get it on our favorite 2-day shipper. I sent you that message so you know. So it's going to be over there, guys. And it looks like this. And if you can't see it really well, check my content. I have it really prevalently put in there so you guys can see it. You just added it. Awesome. Thank you, Trish. So what would you say is the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten?
It would come from my grandmother. And I didn't understand it at the time when I was younger. I was bullied really, really, really bad for about 16 years of my life because my mom was different from other people. And I'm talking feces being thrown at you, like that level of trauma as a child. And I remember I was about 5 or 6 years old, and my grandmother was in the backyard cutting her roses. And I came home from school crying. And she's like, what's wrong? And I said, they keep teasing me. And why don't they like me? That was my struggle. Why don't they like me? Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't look like my mom. I didn't act like my mom. So why didn't they like me? And as a child, you just want people to like you and have friends. And I had none. And she sat me down, and in the calmest voice, remember, this is 5 years old. She said, Yassin, you were not born in this world to be liked. You were born to make a purpose. So do that. And 5 years old, I had no idea what that meant. What was a purpose? I didn't know. And then I just literally wrote a book and walked into my purpose. Literally, that's how that happened.
That's a very profound thing. You were born with a purpose, not to be liked. I love that. And I'm sure as you were older, you were like, you reflected on it, and then one day, just kind of like, there it is.
Yeah,
You're right.
with my purpose. Yeah, I had no clue, and I just kept walking through the door. That's the wild part is I just kept walking. I didn't say no. I did it scared. I did it terrified. Never did public speaking, and my island called me back because my book is about my, where I lived. And my honest English teacher called me, and she got my book, and she said, "I want you to come to the school and talk to the kids." Talk to who? Talk to how many kids are we talking? A whole auditorium? What? She's like, "You got this." I'm like, who? And yeah, and then the opposition from that book, because they didn't really want me to talk about mental health. So I was breaking down all of these barriers all at one time, and I just said, "Lord, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna just let you guide, because I don't. This is beyond me right now." And I did the talk. I did the talk. After the session was over, there were about 50 kids in the auditorium waiting to speak to me one by one and tell me their story. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very awesome. That is so, so cool. And that was just because you said yes, right?
Because I said yes.
And I love that. You had that courage to like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And that you took the courage on. I love that.
I don't know if I had the courage. Because I remember sweating. I remember profusely sweating under my clothes.
You can still have nerves and courage at the same time, though.
Yeah,
you can have because I can say like I love public speaking, but it makes me nervous.
Yes.
I don't have a problem getting up in front of a group of people, but I will be sweating the whole time.
The pep talk that same grandmother gave me was, "If you're not nervous, then you're dead. Go do it."
Exactly. So is there a piece of advice you ever wish you would have ignored?
Ooh.
I got good questions today.
Yeah, you do. That one is thought provoking. Yeah, I wished all the times that my grandmother had said, "I don't like that guy for you." I should have listened.
There you go. Carrie said she just got the book on Kindle.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
You're speaking to a lot of people in my chat. They keep saying this is profound. I think she's talking to me. So that's really great that you're resonating with everybody, and your stories, like, it's your story, but a lot of people are like, wow, I see myself in that.
Yeah, it's my story, but it's also her story.
I love that.
And if it's not her story, she knows somebody whose story it is. Yeah.
Is there any time someone says they were surprised by something that they read in your book and you were like, wow?
Yes. Yes. So much. I was such a quiet child and quiet adult up until like 25 that nobody knew half of the stuff in the book went on. Like, just nobody. I think the one part that nobody knew was the day that my mom tried to take my life. Even my grandmother didn't know what happened that day. For years, nobody. I carried that secret until I wrote my first book, and then I was really explicit in the second book about what happened that day. That was the hardest healing for me. Was loving my mother, because I didn't. I mean, in retrospect, I talk in the book, I hated her, and I didn't know that I was supposed to hate the disease, not her, but I didn't know the difference. I didn't know what schizophrenia was. I was just always told she's sick. Nobody said what sick was. I was like, give her a pill, like do something, but this isn't right. And the day was so painful that I kind of suppressed it for so many years. And that was freedom to me, because it took about 2.5 years to me to just learn forgiveness of her illness in order to grow.
Daniel, I believe I just asked her that.
What did he say?
Yes. What is the worst piece of advice you ever listened to, and when did you realize you shouldn't have? Oh, this is different, actually. I said, what was a piece of advice you wish you would ignored? This one is, what is the worst piece of advice you took? And then when did you realize that it was bad that you did it? Good one, Daniel.
Huh.
Daniel's got thought-provoking questions.
Yes.
He's just as bad
Advice,
as me.
advice I shouldn't have taken and I took. Oh, so somebody recommended that I go with this coach. They talked about this coach so highly, and then I spent the money to do the coaching, and it was the worst coaching session ever. Like I was thinking to myself, she would make somebody commit suicide because it was that bad. Like you're supposed to feel good. You have emotions when you come out of coaching, right? And that's why people don't want to go in because of the pain. It's intense. The pain that you go in with. But if you are a great coach, you do not let that person walk out of that office in those feelings no matter what. And 3 times this woman opened the door and left the door open. That was horrid. 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 And yeah, no, I'm not taking advice on counselors anymore. I'm just gonna interview everyone the way you're supposed to. Yeah. Yeah.
If someone is watching today and they're struggling with the confidence, motivation, purpose, what would you want to leave them? What's that message you want to leave them with?
You are enough. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are intelligent. You are loved. So love you.
You're gonna make me cry. Try not to cry. Like I'm on the verge of tears this whole like live. Oh my gosh, you,
No, don't cry.
that's
I
good.
don't know what you. I have
Because
that
I
effect
think a
on
lot of
people.
people are in places in their life right now. A lot of people, they're struggling with something, and you're resonating with, you're struggling, but where's your joy? You can struggle and have joy at the same
Yeah,
time.
you can. You
I don't think
can.
people realize you can do that.
Yes, and this is how I know that I'm in a joyful place. So I live in Albania now, and my daughter actually, we adopted my daughter from Cambodia, and the government messed up her paperwork at birth. So she has a US passport and a green card. And I know you're thinking, why does a person who's a US citizen have a green card? Yeah, that's what I thought too. But thousands of dollars later, we can't get this green card revoked. So it's on her file. And years ago, an attorney had said, well, unless the 14th amendment is ever jeopardized, then you have nothing to worry about. And what happened? So for my daughter's safety, I had to relocate with no plan. Like ICE was on her door on the 28th, and we were on a plane the 29th in the morning out of the country and no planning. So I literally left the house as is, garbage in the garbage can, you name it. It just left, and I left in the dead of night so that nothing wouldn't happen to her. And I didn't tell my friends until we actually got where we were going and we were safe. And so we're talking in a different country. The money's in the U.S. I'm over here, no money, not enough money to convert, trying to just wing everything on the fly. There's people who prepared to move out of the country. I just got out of the country, no plans. How am I going to make this work thing work? And nothing. I mean, when you talk about survival and you just got to get up and go, if I wasn't in a joyful place, I don't think I probably would have mentally survived
Wow.
because my daughter's also autistic. So they don't adapt to change well. And I instantly changed her entire life. All her friends, and anything that was familiar to her. She had the kind of autism that everything has to be structured by time during the day. So 8 o'clock, she has to do this and this. And then now all of a sudden, this whole program that she has been using as a survival tool is now shattered and got to start over in a new country, new language, don't know anybody, the fear, all of that. And I had to literally put me completely last so she could be whole. And if I was not in a joyful place to look at blessings every single day than hardship and having to deal with stuff and try and sell this and like it, and I'm grateful for the friends that I have that didn't ditch me because I left. that's how you know that those are your people, you know.
Yeah.
And they helped me get the house together and everything and the bank accounts, and it was a hard struggle to start over from nothing in a foreign country. It was hard. But when I look back, it didn't feel hard. And that was because I'm in a joyful place that I don't allow myself to beat myself down to feel hard, you
Yeah.
know?
I love that. Daniel says, what color best represents where you are in your life right now?
Purple.
That's what the purple. The author yesterday was completely decked out in purple. They all picked purple from my hair. I love purple. I love it. That's
Oh,
a
I
good
didn't even
color.
see your hair was purple. I thought it was an earpiece.
No, my hair is
Look at
purple.
that. I thought it was one of those microphone things that was purple. Oh my goodness.
No,
I didn't
purple hair. I was like in a space in my life where I'm like, I don't really go to work. I don't have a dress code. I've never dyed my hair. I'm doing it. Because
Nice.
I
I
don't have
love
that moment.
it. I love it.
So you're in Albania now? Is that where you're at?
In Albania, yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Do you think they'll ever be able to work out your daughter's paperwork?
There's a go around, but the go around is going to be costly. And unfortunately, she is an adult. So she has to make her own decisions to do what she needs to do for her. She has to grow. I'm not going to be here for the rest of my life. I got her to point A. She needs to get to point B by herself.
There you go. What scent gives you the best nostalgia, Daniel?
Jasmine.
My mom. That's what I think of my mom. That and the perfume Eternity. That's what she always wore, and she loved jasmine. Loved it.
Jasmine.
So
I could smell it a mile away like it's coming.
I love it. Where did you grow up?
The Virgin Islands.
That's what I thought.
The U.S. Virgin Islands.
Very, very cool. I love that. Guys, any more questions for Yassin? Is it Yassin? I haven't said that right?
It's either Yassin or Yassin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm doing it right. I didn't even ask before. I was like, hey, let's introduce you. I'm going to do it. I'm going to.
Things happen the way it's supposed to happen. That's how I look at it.
I know Timbo says, I grew up in the projects.
Oh, I know Timbo. I know that too well. I know, but look at us now, right?
Exactly. It was Timbo's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Timbo.
Oh, happy belated. What did you do? Did you do anything special?
What song gives you a hopeful feeling?
Oh, what's the name of it? It's by gosh, I listen to it all the time and I don't remember the name of it. I just know it. It's by Cece Wayans. God is Love.
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
I don't know if that's the right title, but that's the chorus. So I'm assuming that's the title. Yeah.
My husband just texted me something. I have no idea what it means. I'm like, what is that? Trish says she loves her music. Yeah, I love her music. I think she has a TikTok too, which you can follow. So, because I've seen snippets of her music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On here. Love that. Guys, any more?
I have a question for the viewers. What is the last book that they read?
You're going to get some spicy answers.
I'm ready. And a book, not an audio, like a book, like physical.
Well, Callie does audio, so we let her get away with that. Timbo says Goosebumps. Timbo, dude. You know what book Callie last book because I gave it to her.
Okay.
She doesn't say, I'll say it for her. My October release is I finished. Yeah, Daniel's an author. He's reading his own work right now.
Nice.
He's got a new, is it romantasy dark rom-com, right? I think that's what it is. And then I read the book 4 of Reagan of Ruin.
Oh, okay. How was that?
Good. Got right in book 5 because it ended on a freaking cliffhanger.
Oh, man. I see Diane says dark comedy romantasy. Wow.
Yep, that's what I thought. Yep. Callie read Lights Out by Navessa Allen, so I know that one.
Okay. I'm in the process of writing my first fiction book.
Really? What genre?
Romance, spicy romance.
Girl, this is the room for you.
I think I'm like on chapter 20 or something like that. Yeah.
How
It's going
spicy we
slow and steady.
talking? How
It, um,
spicy?
I am actually dating an Albanian, and it's the more. My life is a my life is now a spicy romance. So it's kind of like part true, but not.
I love it. Bobby says she read an older romance by Carrie author Trish.
Oh,
Trish is reading Praise by Sarah Kate, and I can't remember the last thing she read. I usually know what Trish read usually. I know she DNF'd something recently from H.T. Carlton, but I don't remember what the last one was. But I usually know.
I gotta read that older
Graves, that's right. You read Graves.
Graves.
That's a good one. That's a good one. It's got two brothers in it. Yes, you read Graves. There it is. So, yeah. Guys, hi Marissa. So her book is over on that 2-day shipper. Is there any place else they can grab it, or is it only over there?
It's on Amazon as well. It's on audio. Oh, sorry, I can't say that. My bad. It's on Uzi and Zan. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
I sent you a message like, don't say these words.
Oh, sorry. I was in
But
the
you're in the
hospital.
hospital. You've got it. Yeah, but does it? So, but you have it. So you have the audiobook. So that's over on. Okay, and then then the Zon. Got you.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Hopefully we didn't get. Hopefully it didn't. The algorithm wasn't paying attention.
Right? Or didn't pick up my accent.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's very picky about the words we use on here.
What would it do? Like it stop it or something?
I would get a restriction or a violation, and if we say it too many times, they will pull the live.
Oh. Oh my. Okay.
Yeah. So a restriction, a violation's not as bad as a restriction.
Right.
So I get vios all day. When I get a restriction, I'm like, son of a cow. Yeah, but I've never had. I had my live pulled once because it didn't like what I was doing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, your youngest is autistic, Bobby, so you understand.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
she can. Is that how high in the spectrum? Low or high functioning?
Daniel says he got a restriction for painting live. It was not enough human interaction. I know you can order through TT. I know, Callie. It's stupid. Just an adult doing fabulous. Zon. Oh yeah. LPW low. She's low on the spectrum.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. How old? My daughter was low on the spectrum.
My nephew's low on the spectrum.
And ended up off the spectrum.
I never thought I never thought she'd drive.
Me too. They told me she'll never go to college. She'll never drive a car. She'll never read. She'll never do math. And I'll have to take care of her for the rest of my life. My daughter did a TEDx talk in South Africa. She graduated from high school. She went to college. It took her 4 years to drive, but she bought her own car at 19 and waved to the same teachers that said she can't make it on graduation day in her car. So don't listen to what the doctors say with a grain of salt as a blueprint of where to start from. That's what I did. Whatever negative they told me, I'm like, got it. She can't read. All right, we're going to work on reading. Got it. She can't do math. No worries. We're going to work on math. She can't drive. No problem. We're going to get 6 different driving schools to teach her until she can drive. Not a problem. So it may have taken longer to do the things that she did, but she did it despite how long it took, and she still kept on going. And today she's functioning, living on her own.
Daniel has a son who's a level 2 autistic. Orion is autistic. He's an author. He wouldn't want it any other way. Too long to get to this point. And then Carrie says, I have 2 twin boys, profound autism. They're 22 years old and nonverbal. I've got a cousin who's, I think she's 35 and nonverbal still. So, and that's.
Yeah, she was nonverbal up until the age of 14.
Bobby says he was in special ed classes and he was told to leave high school.
Wow.
Yes. He works across country and makes way more than his mom now. Oh, that's awesome, Bobby.
I hope he speaks to other children who are artistic too, to give them inspiration. That's the one thing that I noticed that my kids lack. I was their inspiration. They didn't see anybody else that looked like them or had what they had to give them any motivation that they can be successful too. And I wish there were more. I really wish there were more people speaking out and talking about their struggles as a child and where they are now to give them hope.
Bobby says, I was told they don't learn ABC. They learn A and build a they learn A and then build a bridge to C.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Carrie, yours sadly needs lifelong care and support. And that's my cousin. She's the same. But my nephew, who's also on the spectrum, they said that he wouldn't be high functioning. He's going to college. He has a job. He has a girlfriend. He drives. He does all of the things. So when someone tells me that they're special needs and they're not and they can't do something, I'm like, bull.
You have to find the way how they learn, and that's the key.
Yes.
And a lot of therapists and a lot of doctors and a lot of teachers, they don't have the patience to try to find out how this child learns. For me, I was her biggest advocate because I work from home. So I had time to sit in the superintendent's office all day printing my orders and waiting until somebody answered my question. I had the time to do that, and it takes time. It takes a lot of emotional, mental, physical from you to advocate for your children, and time, just patience and time.
Marissa's sister's a special ed teacher, and she said you're true. They're so true about what you're saying.
Time.
Yep. Time.
Through the business is how I learn how she learns. Just out of desperation, I said, all right, I'm going to get you a store and teach you how to run a store and run and sell products like I am. And the first night I taught it to her, she printed the labels, and then she went to bed and came back down the stairs, and it was like nothing never happened. Like the day never existed. Nothing in that day she remembered. Nothing. And then the next day I did it again, and same thing. I'm like, huh. So I call up her IEP teacher and go, I'm noticing something. And I'm always that one, the minute I see something, I'm calling. Like, we're going to try this, and we're going to do this. And it was like, interesting. So they called the school psychologist and told him about her development that I had just found out. And he instantly said she has memory lapse, prolapse. She needs visual input every single day, all day long, the same input over. Like, if you ever watched the movie 50 First Dates, just like that, every day. So she woke up 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the information that she needed to learn the day before, so she could catch up with the day that she's about to have. And then the next day, she has to get up like 2 o'clock in the morning to watch it double time, because now she has to watch 2 days of information to catch up with the third, and just keep on going. And we did that for 4 years straight.
Wow. Bobby said the school didn't want to provide help, but they're agreeing. Nolan said, our kids are special ed. We tell the teachers we can be best friends or worst enemies. I like that.
Yep. That's how I walk in the classroom every new class, new school year. I walk in, hi, my name is Yassin Hall, and I could be your best friend or your worst enemy, but we're going to get this child through this class this year. Yes, you agree? All right, let's go.
Orion says, look up social scripting and task segmentation. It helps a lot. He's autistic.
It did. That's exactly what we had to do. It did.
Daniel says he's homeschooling his. He went back as an adult, took GED, and nailed it. See, Bobby, he didn't get pigeonholed. He was like, I got this. Hold it. I have a learning disability. If you give me steps 1 to 10, I'm going to remember 3 or 4 of them. I have amnesia. I am 51st States. But I don't have it like to that extent. But yeah. I don't make memories. So when it was at its worst, I couldn't read. Yeah. I couldn't maintain. I couldn't grasp what I was reading. They finally figured out stuff. But there's signs all over my house. Stop. House alarm may be on. Check it first. Is this burn? Are the burners off? Is the sink off? All of these things around my house, because I've flooded my house. I've almost burned my house down, and I set the house alarm off at least once a month.
Wow. I'm proud of you. No, seriously, I'm proud of you, because you knew you needed these help, and you didn't look at it as a disability, or you didn't look at it as a flaw of yours. So what if I need to close the door on top of the door? At least I'm protecting me. At least I'm taking action of the thing that I know is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Now with me, like she just gave her 1 through 10 steps. You're lucky if I even get to 2. Like, what? You know, ADHD. It is. So
Friends, it's a struggle. Yeah, I would say my nephew surprises me because he he had so girls loved him. Like he's a cutie, but he would go. I went to the coffee shop with Bobby. He would go. I went to the coffee shop. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, did you buy the girls coffee? He goes, nah, they bought me coffee.
oh, okay, stud muffin.
I'm
Okay.
like, dude, you're so funny. I have a learning disability too. What takes someone 2 hours learns to 6 hours to learn something from me. Everyone has something, and you just have to learn to not let it to set you back. I have dyslexia. So is math my strong suit? Absolutely not. So I don't do math. We encourage our living.
Acceptance. The biggest thing is acceptance that, hey, I have this disability. So what?
Bobby wanted to know if there were problems at labor or birth, but you adopted, correct?
Yeah, my daughter I adopted. My son before her, he's also autistic. I had a rough pregnancy with him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Marissa said I took the PRE 4 times in first try. Ooh, God, that's horrible. Yeah, I can't take Scantron sheets because the numbers around they don't stay. The little bubbles don't stay where they're supposed to be. Guys, any more questions? Hate Scantrons. Exactly, Marissa. Scantrons are evil. They're the devil. And yeah, if I go back to college, I pray that they will take my math that I got at FSU because I don't want to take it again. I passed it. I finally did it. I can't bubble it without scribbling outside the bubble. Yes.
Me too. For my life, I can't do it. I can't tell you how many times I had to retake tests because of that.
Bobby said an older teacher once said that she's asked all the parents and they said they all had trouble at birth. But Natalie said a 15-year-old is on the spectrum, no issues with my pregnancy. So there you go.
I don't feel, I've spoken to so many autistic moms. I don't feel it's any one thing. The one thing that I can say is, I did the research here in Albania, for example. I looked at the amount of cases that they had here per capita and compare it to another state in the US per capita. And the numbers are lower here. And I feel, this is my personal opinion, I feel it's because of the food that we eat.
Yeah. Preserved. European food doesn't have as many preservatives.
Nope.
And I had a disease for a while and I couldn't eat preservative foods. I went to France. I was eating fruit. I couldn't eat fruit in the United States. I was eating all the things I couldn't eat in the United States. I didn't get sick. I got home to the United States, had one meal here, and was sick.
Same thing happened to me when I came back to visit. When I moved to Albania, they were giving like slices of oranges in a farmer's market. And when I bit into that orange, you would swear I had an orange. Oh, I don't know if I could say that whole word out. Because I realized in that moment, I've never really tasted a real orange.
The strawberries over there are insane.
And I tasted the preservative in my mouth. It was a clash between fresh orange coming in and my body still having the preservatives and stuff in it. And I could literally taste the two of them combined. I'm like, it's the food.
Yeah.
It's the food. I was diabetic and hypertensive when I arrived.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, America's got crappy food. Daniel wants to know what flavor lifts your spirits the most?
Mango.
Mango. Some things are just named differently in the UK. It's the same ingredient. Yeah, I know. But a lot of things are banned in other countries, like our colorings and all that stuff. Like if KE was in here, I'd ask her because I know Canada has a lot of things that are banned that we have here that are banned there.
It's very strange.
And it makes you wonder. It makes you absolutely wonder. She said, I love mango. I'm planning to get capybaras with wildlife permit named Mushi and Mango. There you go.
Oh, okay. What's the Mushi part? What's the Mushi?
That's going to be the name of the capybara. She's getting capybara as the little animal.
Oh, no, she is?
Yep. Mushi is the ice cream ball. I know what Mushi is, yeah. It's banned. It's just renamed, but it's the same ingredient banned item. But, Carrie, I'll say that when I went to France, the food was totally different. It tasted different. The soda for sure is different.
Yes.
If you go to the Coke Museum, you can Russian Coke's the worst. Oh my God, it's disgusting.
I
Um,
live in Atlanta, so I used to go there all the time. And I didn't think it was true until I traveled abroad. I said, let me try it. It's an acquired taste over here. It's not the same.
no, I drank Orangina the whole time I was there, or I drank
Yeah.
Diet because the regular was so not as sweet as the Diet. Yes, love the world of Coke in Atlanta. Yeah. And I just remember going, oh my God, these are so foul. And then when I went to France, I could not find stuff I wanted to drink. And I was like, okay, Orangina, water, or Diet. That was it.
Sprite works. That's the only one that I found that has as close as a taste as possible to Sprite in the US is Sprite. Sprite here.
Bobby says, I've got good access to oranges though. So that's good. As long as you get good organic. Because, yeah, that's the difference. Like, is the organic and all of that stuff over
And
there.
that's slapped with an organic label. Like actually from the tree that grew in the earth. That is the only organic you're going to get.
Daniel, right? Going natural with our food can heal. Like if you eat clean, you help yourself. I went on a clean eating diet. I'll tell the story. I went on a clean eating diet. One of the things I did is I drank 160 ounces of water a day. That was insane, but it helped. And I went to clean eating. I reversed my gluten allergy, my dairy allergy, my egg allergy, all my food allergies. I could barely eat. Now I eat everything. I reversed it.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
So
incredible.
I had hypertension. I had long COVID. All of it's gone.
Wow. Healthy eating, I'm telling you, it's the food.
Yep.
It's the food. And then the only food that they're making pretty much affordable now is the foods that's not good for you.
Yep. Yeah, Marissa, that doesn't help either.
Been like that before I even left, it was doing that. Yep. And they have been studies, there have been people reporting it, and they're still getting away with it.
Yep.
I've even brought my own scale to show them that it's off and still didn't help.
Oh, Bobby, I'm sorry. I know you got Bobby. You're in the South, right? Like I know the South. This time of year, it's the allergies.
Oh.
I'm in the desert, so we don't have that.
Talking about allergies, because I lived in Georgia where the pollen is like 4 months long, 3 layers deep of neon, right? When I moved from the Virgin Islands to Georgia, when I left the Virgin Islands, I had no allergies, none. And all of a sudden now, boom, I moved in April and smack dab in pollen. It was I had to go to the natural bee farm and get the actual bees, the honey from the bees that actually pollinate the place.
Daniel, just put this in the chat. Listen to this. This works.
My grandmother is who told me you need to go to the bee farm that pollinates the bees that are in your neighborhood. And I found that bee farm, and you have to take the pollen pellets and the honey mixed together. And pretty much what you're doing is you're building your own immune system. So you're taking in the pollen so that when the pollen tries to go through your nostrils and your eyes, it's already fighting it and you won't get sick anymore. Boom. 3 tablespoons a day, no allergies. I came here to Albania. I have no allergies at all.
That's
Not
awesome.
even pollen. Yeah, it's environment.
Yeah, Bobby, totally try that. Honey, 3 tables. Yeah, now Marissa, not just any honey. Don't go to like the grocery store. You gotta go find that. Go to your farmer's market. Find that locally sourced honey that's grown where you're in your region. That's what you need to find. Have a buddy with a bee farm. There you go, Bobby. You know where you're good now. Yeah. So yeah,
You have to make sure, don't just take the farmer's word that it came from the bee, like really and truly find out, because that's the key. It has to be the bees that pollinated the pollen that you're ingesting. It has to be that, or it won't work.
And that's not the first time I've heard that. And we actually tried that with my daughter, and it worked.
It works.
Yeah, it does work. So it's so true.
Yeah.
So it does make sense. Exactly.
Yep, it's like fighting. I mean, you getting prepared for the fight.
I can do honey, but I tried 3 teaspoons of mother's apple. The vinegar works, but the vinegar doesn't do the immunity like this is gonna do. And you'll find it like within a month or two, it's gonna be just gone, and then you'll never have it again. That's the beauty.
And it doesn't take a whole lot. So I still have the same bottle for like 2-3 years. It doesn't take a lot, because by the time you take it for like a week, your body has already built that immunity that you're like, all right, I have 0 symptoms, nothing.
Yeah. It doesn't take long, and it works wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, any more questions for her? I can eat honey like candy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Honey tastes good. Oh my god, genius. Yes. I love that we're talking about it because I knew this because like we did this for my daughter. Oh my gosh. Hi. Sorry, my dog just was like just laid down on her back in my lap and is like, hey mom, I need you.
It's amazing how simple things, if somebody had just told it to us when we were younger, like the honey thing, I mean, life would have been so much easier. But
Yeah.
they've cut out so much of this natural stuff that they just want you to go to a hospital and take a pill, and the pill causes another reaction for another pill, and then next thing you know, you're on 12 pills, and it just keep going, and you didn't know that all you had to do was take honey. Like, what?
Exactly. I meant to text hubby. Oh my gosh. Callie put it's all ready except for the sauce. I'm like, cool, dinner's almost ready at Callie's house. And she goes, oh my god, I meant to text my hubby. Yeah, I take natural stuff too for like my anxiety and things like that. I don't take the pharmaceutical. I take the natural stuff because it's better. I try to do as natural as possible because I just find that it's healthier, it's better for you.
Yeah.
And your body it doesn't like the pharmaceuticals. How long is that staying in your body? You know, you expel out like B12. Like if you, I take B12 for my brain. That's how they treat my amnesia now. And I know that I'm going to be expelling that out. Like I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to use it, and whatever I don't keep, I need, I'm going to get rid of.
Yeah.
Emma is in Kara's live. That's so funny. Some people say homeopathic stuff. Yeah, it is.
That's what it is.
It is. Oh my god, great tasting iron gummies is life. Yes. Girl, I get it. Well, guys, thank you so much. You were amazing. I'm so glad that we had you on.
Thank you for having me.
Her book is Beyond the Love Curse, Own Your Power. It's Yassin Hall. She has it on audiobook. She has it on the Zon. There's her other book too is on the Zon too. You have 2 books on the Zon right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one's out of print, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go check out her books, guys. Yes, and she is an inspiration. She says, find your joy in anything. Even if you're struggling, you can find that joy. Get her inspirational stories out of this, guys. Thank you so much. It was such a joy to speak with you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Great
Please
question.
feel better.
Thank you. I will. I'm going to get some rest now.
Yes, because if you don't know, she was late because she was in the ER, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, if you don't want to, we'll reschedule. I will work you in. I'll go live on Saturday for crying out loud. Yes. All right. Thank you, my friend.
I didn't say no.
I know you did awesome.
Bye, love. Bye, everybody.